Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is p4.final.mrosado, and I am in the Criminal Justice Group. What do John Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and Ted Bundy all have in common? They all have been executed by the death penalty. The death penalty has been a main concern for many across in the United States. After doing much research on the death penalty, it has been proven to be useless in this country in crime deterrence. I would also like to tell you the expense on the death penalty. Experts in the United States have already proven that the death penalty is useless when it comes to deter homicide crimes in this country, in which 78% believe that having it in your state does not lower homicide crimes, in which 90% also says that increasing executions will not add a deterrent, according to the Journal of Criminal Law and Criminology. This was quoted by Michael Rudelit and Tracy Lockett. Many feel that by keeping the death penalty, it will install fear and allow people to think twice before they commit a murder, which doesn't work. In the state of California and many of the states that still participate in the death penalty, it has been proven that many inmates that are on death row have died before being executed of old age or due to health problems before being executed. In the last 34 years, in the state of California, only 13 inmates have been killed by the death penalty, and the last death row inmate that died in the state of California was in 2006. Murder rates in death penalty states tend to be much more higher than states that do not participate in the death penalty. Statistics show that the death penalty states have higher murder rates between the years of 1990 and 2000. Southern states are responsible for 80% of the homicide or murder crimes in the United States and still have the highest inmates on death row. Secondly, right now I would like to discuss with you the costs on death penalty. According to a California judge, Judge Arthur, he stated that in 2012, since 1978, the state of California has spent over $4 billion on death row inmates, which in yearly it could total up to 1.94 million in trials and pre-trials, 925 million on appeals, and 1 billion costs for incarceration for death row inmates. If the state was to abolish the death penalty and started to give out life sentences instead, it can save the state of California over $170 million a year, according to deathpenaltyinfo.org. Most death penalty cases involve most inmates that are involved in death row death penalty cases. They lack the funds for counsels, so the state pays for out of tax money. They pay for their counsels, their pre-trials, their appeals, which appeals can go, average length is about 25 years. And now, in death penalty cases versus non-death penalty cases, this is also satisfied. I don't have the exact numbers on. The average case for a death penalty case, a non-death penalty case, is between $400,000 and $660,000. A death penalty case can begin at $1.8 million and total between 1.8 million to 10.9 million a year. North Carolina alone spent 2.6 million on each death row inmate. In many states, especially in the state of Georgia, they have laid off over 900 police officers and correctional officials because of the lack of funds that they have. But the cutbacks, the reason for the cutbacks in employees in the state of Georgia is because much of the funds are going towards death row inmates for appeals and counsel expenses. Maryland alone has spent $186 million on only 5 executions in the last year, but the government continues to claim that they don't have any money. The solutions that they have, first is if the United States was to focus on abolishing the death penalty, alone in the state of California, they can save over $130 million a year just for the state of California. And an alternative that can be useful also can be that if the government of California converted over the 700 inmates that are on death row right now, they can save millions. In conclusion, the death penalty does not deter homicides, and the states that participate in the death penalty have the highest homicide crimes. The cost of the states, the cost is over $4 billion since '78 in California, in which they can use much of that fund into education and development. And if the government chooses to abolish, it would better improve our economy.
Thank you. Please, that was 7 minutes. I'll let you go, but we need to try to keep these shorter. Our next speaker, we have to move from one to the other, and let's see if I can get your PowerPoint working real quickly. Who's the next speaker? Do I need to call on somebody?
I'll go.
Okay. Did you send me your PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay. Mildred, I want you to note when you look at your video that you were leaning on the podium the entire time.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
No matter how good a speech is, if you don't have the right body language, it's going to detract. It's an amazing thing how a simple thing like not standing up straight can change an audience's entire opinion about what you're saying, and so all your fine work then gets diminished. But I want you to notice that. I mean, there was quite a good number of good things you were doing, but it was hurt by the fact that you were just kind of leaning over on your elbows. And I don't even think you noticed. I let you continue with it. Yeah, do you want to find yourself? You can just open it up from here. Okay.